Amidst the chaos of the world, it's important to take a step back and assess what we have. That's what we do every week. We take stock of our preps, of our stockpile, and look for ways to add to it. It's a way of preparing for the future, for the uncertainties that lie ahead. This week, we added 5 things to our pantry and stockpile. They weren't necessarily things we didn't have before, but we felt it was important to have them again. As we go through this list of 5 things, we hope to share with you why we bought them and how they can affect you. We hope that you too will see the importance of purchasing these things this week. We're not just prepping for food shortages, although that's a big part of it. We're also preparing for other possible crises that could arise. Our goal as preppers and sustainable homesteaders is to be as self-sufficient as possible. That means growing what we can, but also purchasing what we can't grow. We know that the world is an uncertain place, and that's why we take our prepping seriously. We buy things each and every week, and we encourage you to do the same. It's not about being paranoid or fearful, it's about being prepared. I'm sitting here staring at the 5 things we bought this week, feeling anxious about what lies ahead. As I scan the list, my eyes lock onto the first item: gasoline. My stomach churns as I remember the rush we felt as we filled up every tank we had, every can, every jug, every car, everything. It's a weekly practice for us, but this week we went overboard and even bought 2 more tanks. Why did we do it? Because we heard that OPEC is cutting production even further, and the orange countries are maneuvering towards the BRICS nations. We're losing our importance, and it's not a good thing. Fuel prices are going to skyrocket, and we need to be prepared. I'm filled with dread as I think about the future. Our town already saw a fluctuation of 8 to 10 cents overnight just because of speculation and the news cycle. I know we're going to see even higher prices soon. I can feel the panic rising within me. We need to make sure we always have enough fuel on hand. We can't risk being caught without it. It's a matter of survival. As I look at the list again, I realize that this week's purchases aren't just about convenience or luxury. They're about preparing for the uncertain times ahead. I remember hearing about friends who traveled west and were forced to pay exorbitant prices for fuel. It's frightening to think that this could happen to us too. That's why my family and I have taken steps to stockpile gas. We want to ensure that we have enough to last us through the tough times ahead. But that's not all we've done to prepare. We've also purchased liquor this week, and I know that might seem strange to some. I don't drink myself, but we have other uses for it. We grow a lot of herbs in our garden, and this is the time of year when they really start to flourish. We believe in using natural remedies and making our own tinctures and medicines. It's something we've learned from the ways of the past, and we believe it will make us healthier in the long run. I can't help but feel a sense of pride in the steps we've taken. It's not easy to think about the future and prepare for the worst, but it's necessary. The rising cost of gas will affect not just our wallets, but our entire way of life. By being proactive and taking steps to prepare, we can weather whatever storms come our way. And I know that whatever happens, we'll be ready to face it together. The sad truth is that our medicines are no longer made locally. They're manufactured in China. With the ongoing tensions between countries, it's becoming increasingly clear that we cannot rely on them to provide us with the necessary medication. This is why my family and I have turned to natural remedies. We believe that building herbal tinctures and using true natural medicine is the best way forward. And liquor, surprisingly enough, plays a crucial role in this. We've stocked up on vodka and Everclear, which have high proof levels and can be utilized in our herbal remedies. And the best part? Liquor never goes bad. Some may call it a vice, but we see it as an essential prepping item that can come in handy during times of crisis. And let's not forget that it's also a great bartering tool. But that's not why we purchased it. Our main focus is on ensuring that we have everything we need to make our herbal medicine and keep ourselves and our loved ones safe. One thing we've learned is the value of self-sufficiency. We can't always rely on stores to have what we need, so we've started foraging for herbs and plants to make our own natural medicines. It's amazing how much we've learned just by exploring the world around us. We've also realized the importance of having a seed vault. We thought we had enough, but then we bought even more seeds this week. It's garden season, and we want to make sure we have everything we need to grow our own food. We don't just want to plant and eat, though. We want to learn about new plants, new herbs, and new ways to use them. Misty has been especially interested in ashwagandha and hops lately, and we've been learning all we can about them. Buying seeds is not just about growing food either. It's a valuable commodity that can be used for trading and providing for our families. We've been careful to pick up heirloom seeds from places like Survival Seeds and Hoss Tools. We love lady cream peas, and Hoss Tools has the best variety. We've also picked up some new herbs and flowers to add to our collection. It's not always easy to be self-sufficient, but it's rewarding. We're learning new things every day, and we're becoming more connected to the world around us. We're taking control of our own lives and providing for ourselves and our loved ones. It's a powerful feeling, and it's one we wouldn't trade for anything. As I walked through the rows of seed packets, I couldn't help but feel a sense of hope. Each one represented the potential for sustenance, for survival. The world may be unpredictable and chaotic, but at least I could take control of one small aspect of my life. I carefully selected a variety of seeds, knowing that not all of them would thrive in my garden. But it was worth the risk, worth the effort. For who knew what the future held? Perhaps a time would come when food would be scarce, and I would be grateful for these small packets of life. But as I made my way to the checkout, my thoughts were interrupted by a display of ammunition. It wasn't something I had considered before, but recent events had made me realize the importance of self-defense. In a world where tragedy seemed to strike too often, I couldn't afford to be unprepared. I hesitated at first, not sure if I wanted to invest in something that seemed so violent. But then I remembered the words of a friend. Sometimes defense is the best, and security is the best. And I knew I couldn't argue with that. As I left the store, a strange mix of emotions washed over me. I felt both hopeful and fearful, excited and anxious. But above all, I felt empowered. For in a world that often feels out of control, I had taken 2 small steps towards self-reliance. And that was something to be proud of. As I gazed upon the coins I had purchased, I couldn't help but feel a sense of security wash over me. The world around us was changing at a rapid pace, and I knew I needed to take action to protect myself and my loved ones. I remember the day I decided to buy brass. It was a conscious decision to focus on the ones that were being targeted by our government, the ones that were in high demand. I bought in bulk, I bargained, I bartered, and I got a pretty good deal. I knew I had made the right decision as I saw the value of my purchase increase with time. And then came the big purchase. It wasn't easy, but I knew it was important. The news of the chaos in the markets and the volatility of the economy had been ringing in my ears, and I knew I needed to act fast. I couldn't just sit and watch as my hard-earned money lost its value. So I took a deep breath and made the purchase. It was a lot of money, but I knew it was worth it. With each passing day, I felt a sense of relief wash over me as I saw the value of my investment rise. It was a tangible reminder that I had taken control of my financial future. I know not everyone can make these kinds of purchases, but I urge you to do what you can. The world around us is changing, and we need to be prepared. The economy may be unpredictable, but with precious metals, we can protect ourselves from the storm. So take action now, before it's too late. It's hard not to feel overwhelmed by everything going on in the world. The news is filled with stories of conflict and uncertainty, and it's easy to start worrying about what might happen next. But instead of letting fear take over, we need to focus on preparing ourselves for whatever the future may bring. That's why I urge you to take some time to spiritually prepare yourself and your family. Look at the 5 items I've shared with you, and start taking steps towards a more self-sufficient and sustainable life. It may seem small, but every little bit helps, and you'll feel a sense of peace knowing that you're doing what you can to protect your loved ones. I know it's not always easy to stay positive in the face of all the challenges we're facing, but we can't let fear and stress control us. We have to hold on to hope and keep moving forward, no matter what happens. And if we work together, we can make it through anything. So let's commit to prepping and taking care of ourselves and each other. Let's strive for wisdom and understanding so that we can face whatever the future brings with confidence and courage. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember, it's not about fear or worry. It's about hope and perseverance.